As you can see, there's some tombstones behind me, and yeah, it's kind of ironic, isn't it? I lose my finger forever right by the graveyard. So this, over the fence, is where I was intending to go.
Hello there, travel lovers. Hi, so my name is Justina and this is my girlfriend Misha, and if this is your first time on our channel, I must admit this is a different kind of video that we're going to create today. Usually you would normally expect from us travel videos, how to work online, because that's what we've been doing for the past almost 3 years now, isn't it? Yeah, so in this video we're gonna tell a little story about Misha, I guess.
This is the first video that we're filming in the UK. We're currently at my cousin's house. She is off cruising somewhere in Belgium, I believe. So we've made herself a cup of tea. She's coming back in about 2 hours. So cousin Loretta, I hope that you're okay with us filming in your lovely home. It's very cozy. So as you have probably seen from the title of this video, my index finger on my left hand is gone, guys. It is missing. It has been gone for over a decade now.
So, how did you actually lose your finger? How did it all started? Just start from the beginning.
So basically, on one summer's afternoon when I was 16, me and my friend were walking through the graveyard. Now, the graveyard is actually bordering my cousin's garden. And it was very normal for me, even as a kid with my cousins, to basically jump over the fence to land into the garden. And in the garden there was always a trampoline. It's a massive garden there. We would play there pretty much every single day after school, and definitely in the summer holidays. So I was basically doing what I would normally do, just climb over the fence and jump down into the garden. And once you were in that garden, you could even go through to the main house, this house that we're in now. And that was simply all that I intended to do. So my friend actually scaled the fence first. I would say it's about 6 foot tall, and she jumped down and walked away. Then it was my turn to actually jump the fence. So what I did is I pulled myself up, put my legs over. Then obviously I wanted to make sure I had a soft landing, so I put my hands behind my back with my legs dangling over, looking down, and I just jump. Justina knows what's happening, basically. She knows what's coming up. So I get to the bottom and everything's fine.
Do you start walking then or running?
I start walking. My friend starts walking. We actually are trying to get to the trampoline there. So then my friend turns around to me and she says, "Misha, what's that?" And she's basically pointing at my top. And
what top?
It was just a t-shirt I was wearing. Summer's day, like a t-shirt. And I was like looking down like this. I said, "Oh, I don't know, what is that?" I looked down, it was like a kind of like a dark red, like a burgundy color. And I was like, I don't know. And then I started to feel like my hand tingling. And then I looked at my hand. And then at that very moment, I was like, oh my God, my finger is not on my hand. And it was like, it was so surreal. So basically my hand here, there was a bone sticking out, a really small bone here, and the skin obviously was kind of like flapping on the bottom. So I was like, what is going on?
So you were basically missing your flesh.
I was missing the flesh. The bone was there, my hand was there. This, the burgundy red stuff, was actually my blood, where it must have splattered up my top. So then I just thought, well, where was the last time I had it? It must have been from the jump. So we went to the fence. I'm still very shaky at this point, and I look up and my finger is there.
On the fence?
At the top of the fence. The finger is like this, hanging at the top, just in that kind of curved look, like that. And the nail is there, and then attached to the finger is a tendon. The tendon is really long and sinewy, and it's kind of like attached to the fleshy finger part, and it's kind of dangling down, kind of like half stuck on the fence and half not, Bearing in mind it's a summer's day, guys, it was really hot.
Actually happened? Why was it stuck on the fence?
A good question. So basically what happened is, before I actually lost my finger, I was wearing my mum's engagement ring. It was left to me when she passed away. This is another video as well, guys. I kind of want to make loads of videos about my life here in the UK, and this is the starting point. So the ring was actually made from white gold, so it was quite strong, quite resilient. So when I was in this position here and I jumped off this 6-foot fence, there was actually a nail at the very top, and the nail would have been about this long. It wasn't hammered down properly. So when I was in that position and I had the ring on this finger, the nail went underneath the ring and caught as I jumped. So the force of my body weight basically
pulled,
shredded the flesh off my bone, because well, if it was a normal ring or some kind of like
some cheap material,
ring, it would have snapped. The ring would have snapped, and
your finger would be okay.
It had no choice then to take everything above the ring, where the ring would sit, which is basically how it is. It just basically took everything from the ring up, the flesh, and skins my finger. Basically, I jumped from the wrong point of that fence. The fence was so long.
So you know when you like climbing up, pulling yourself up, did you actually feel a nail going under the ring? Was it uncomfortable for you or not?
Absolutely not. So when my friend said, "What is that?" I didn't react because I had no clue that I had lost my finger. I had no clue.
God.
So
it's ridiculous that your finger was actually sitting on the top of the fence, waiting for you to be collected.
It was just like, no, I'm not jumping, and it was just kind of sat there with
my God.
So the tendon, guys, the tendon was actually pulled from all the way up here through my arm with the flesh. So it was finger flesh, tendon, and that was probably the most freaky part.
My God.
I was left with this bruise of where the tendon had actually been pulled through my body and out. I didn't even realize that I'd lost my finger. And they say this a lot, that if your brain doesn't recognize that something bad has happened, it doesn't react, it doesn't have any pain signals or anything. So that was literally what happened.
So even after you looked at the finger that it was gone and missing, you still didn't feel any pain as you were rejecting this information that it didn't actually happen, and you were all confused?
I was very confused. I don't even know if I realized that the ring had caused this accident. Because the ring was kind of in the grass. And so I had really no idea how it all happened. And the finger was on the nail. So only when taking the finger off, it would have exposed the nail there, that naughty nail.
Did it still have the nail, the flesh? Was it with a nail on top?
There was a nail, just like my nail. It was just there. Like, you could have painted the nail. You could have painted it.
Oh my God.
But the finger itself kind of didn't look like a finger. So even when I went to kind of look at the fence, and my friend again was like, "What's that?" It took me about 5 seconds to go, I don't know what that is actually.
Oh God.
But then I started to kind of think, well, that's not here. Something must have been there. So it must be my finger.
So how did your friend react? Did she freak out right away?
Absolutely screaming.
Really?
So we don't talk anymore. We're not like close friends anymore. She was freaking out. So she basically, like I said earlier, you can actually go from the bigger garden towards the house. So she literally ran into this house and saying, you know, Misha's had an accident, she's got a finger missing, and kind of my cousin came out. She had her very young daughter at the time, maybe about 2, and she came out and was like, oh my God, what's happened, kind of thing. And she was just so like...
So everyone was basically panicking, but you were still in shock.
I felt nothing.
We were numb.
I felt absolutely nothing. It was too weird and freaky.
Too abrupt,
for me to even like register anything. I was like, what? I was like, what is going on?
It's like such a bizarre situation.
Such a bizarre situation. Even today.
You were just with your friend, enjoying your regular routine, your summer holiday. Yeah, just jumping over the fence as you usually do, and yet obviously it happened to lose your finger.
I was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Okay, so obviously all of this happened, everyone's freaking out apart from you. What happens next?
Okay, so I managed to come into this kitchen right here.
Where we are right now,
I was as white as, well, the wall used to be white.
Why don't you say as white as me?
as white as my hands. Christina. I was just white, I was cracking jokes, I was like, I can no longer be a hand model anymore.
Another question, were you crying?
No, I shed no tears.
Oh my god, okay.
No pain, no tears, cracking jokes. I was just like numb, really.
Am I right saying that your fleshy finger was actually in a bag of beans?
No, this is where my auntie comes in. So it was really weird because at the time, when I was in the garden, no one was around, but at the very moment, everyone came back from work from shopping. Everyone was just here.
Right.
So my stepdad was here, my auntie was here, my cousin was here. Everyone was here at that moment to kind of be there, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
And so my auntie took on the job, bless her, and hopefully we'll be able to show my auntie one day whilst we're filming this kind of UK series. So my auntie had the horrible job of basically going into the garden and taking my fleshy finger off the fence and peeling off the tendon as well, and literally, like, she says this all the time, that when she picked up the finger, because there was no bone to support or to like actually grab onto something, she dropped it into the grass. So there was my finger in this, like, you know, uncut grass, just like chilling out there
in the sun.
Oh my God. She basically picked it up and then managed to put it into a bag of, I think, vegetables or frozen peas. And that went with me to the A&E.
Yeah.
And I was blue lighted up to the Peterborough A&E.
What is A&E, just in case people don't know?
Accident and emergency.
There we go.
So me,
with your finger,
with my finger in a bag of vegetables, we went off and
in an ambulance.
Yeah. Then we got to the A&E and they injected my finger straight away. So they injected right into here.
Wow.
Obviously the bone was still exposed and it was kind of gross. I really wish I had pictures.
Oh my God.
This, by the way, guys, was at a time where we did not have iPhones.
No.
There was nothing to document this at all. So I really wish that I took more pictures, but I have nothing now.
Nobody even thought about that back then, isn't it?
No, I just really wish I took so many pictures. But yeah, so they injected my finger, so I was numb. And then they took me to Cambridge Hospital where I had surgery. And the surgery was about 5 hours long. And they reattached my finger. And I had then for 2 weeks past that point, I had a cast from kind of like the tip of my finger up into my elbow. It was a really long cast. And just so if I knocked it, then my finger basically wouldn't fall off for the second time. But honestly, guys, over the 2 weeks, every day the smell of my finger got worse and worse and worse. It was rotting and it looked black, like proper rotten flesh, and I just remember that image in my brain now. The finger, because it was pressed up against like some kind of like what would you say, bandages inside the cast, because it was pressed and laying down and obviously it was dead. It was paper thin. I'd say my finger
was like this,
was that thin, honestly, because it was rotting away. So then I had to have another surgery to get the finger removed, like entirely. There wasn't enough blood flow into the finger.
So that's why it was rotting.
It was rotting away.
I guess, yeah, sometimes in some situations, obviously your missing body parts, they readjust really well and everything, you know, continues as normal. Obviously you just may have a scar or something like that. But in your situation, that wasn't the case. So your basically finger did not accept your body anymore. Or your body did not accept the dead finger anymore.
I think I just caused so much damage that it was just impossible for it to...
Right.
And they also said that if my finger was to heal, it wouldn't be 100%. I would never be able to bend it. I'd never be able to do this. It would just be like this because of the tendon. That tendon that came out, that was for functioning and moving my finger. So I would have had essentially like an off-colored finger that didn't move, and it would have been in my way the whole time. And I'm so glad it died in a way, like in a sick way. I'm so glad it's gone, so that I can like I can wiggle this this bit here, guys. It can wiggle, it can move like this. I'm so glad that I can have the freedom to like
actually
do this and you know, wear gloves and just be,
it's not in a way at all.
Not in a way.
So obviously your dead finger was no longer an option. It had to be removed. Yes. So what were the 3 options that your doctors gave you?
Yeah, you love this bit, don't you?
Yeah, tell us.
So there was 3 options given to me at the time where my finger was dead. And one of the options was to basically cut the finger down to the bone, so it was kind of flush like this. So you know, guys, that I didn't go for that option because I've got like this little stump. So that second option, my option, came with the option of having a fake finger made. So I actually have a fake finger somewhere because I don't know where it is now. It's just somewhere in some boxes, I think. So yeah, I have a fake finger, guys, and it was actually molded from this finger. So they took a mold from my right index finger, they inverted it slightly because your finger kind of like bent. They took the skin color from my hand as well, and they put on a fake fingernail.
What is it made of?
It's made of silicone.
Oh, silicone.
But kind of like a hardened silicone. It's kind of a weird texture. You can tell it's fake. You can tell it's fake. And for that reason, I stopped wearing it. I think I wore it for novelty purposes for like the first month. I took it to sixth form or college. I was just messing around with it. I was putting it on, taking it off, because basically the silicone finger had like a dent on the end, so that you can basically just slip it on. But it just, again, it moved like this. I couldn't bend it. I could take it on and off whenever I wanted, and that was kind of funny for me that I could just go to college and
were you actually throwing your finger in the classroom?
I was putting it in people's drinks. I was putting it on my nose.
Oh my god.
It was just jokes. I mean, I was at this point I was 17, so I mean, you've got to have a laugh at yourself, because if you don't, people are just going to laugh at you back. Because college can be quite volatile with bullying and stuff. So I was just trying to brush it off and be silly with it. And that's why when someone says, why are you hiding it, I'm like, remember myself back in that moment. I'm like, well, I didn't. I don't hide it. I really do take the piss out of it, really. Third option, guys, and the weirdest one ever, involves my toes, and I never thought that I would say that, but the option was to remove one of my toes and to surgically place it on my hands, like on that missing bit. What? Which toe, for starters, and what? It just doesn't make sense.
How would anyone agree on such option? How?
I would have a missing toe and then a toe on my finger. What?
You would look like an alien, I swear to God.
Yeah, because your toes are naturally quite bulbous
at the top. They're like completely different shape.
It's so weird.
It's bizarre,
even though that sounded so peculiar, and I was like, maybe that was, but no, that was definitely the worst option.
I am so glad that you chose the option that you chose.
Yeah, I think I chose the option I did because I wanted the option to have a fake finger. I didn't want there to be nothing to work with, and even though I don't know where my finger is today, I still have an option of maybe in the future getting another finger remodeled. Maybe the technology is better, and maybe in the next 10 years I may like the new finger that they make me.
Another question for you. Were you actually struggling to do your day-to-day activities without your finger? Like, how did it feel after it all healed and, you know, it was just missing? And
yeah, so after I had the second surgery where I had this bit left, I think that very first moment of seeing how short the stump was, I think I cried for like 10 seconds. And it was something like this. And then that was all I got from it. And I would say that I actually struggled with doing buttons up and undoing buttons. And I would say still today I would struggle like doing shirt buttons.
Because you're right, you would normally use your your 2 index fingers and your thumbs.
But now actually it's not so hard because this finger, my middle finger,
is like your
is
index.
kind of adopted the role as my index. So it kind of strengthened up. It kind of had to work harder and kind of like get itself together. It's no longer just for, you know, swearing at someone. It actually has to do something. I would say that sometimes, again, I still struggle with like cutting things because I don't actually hold my knife in the left hand, which you're supposed to do. I've kind of always been quite weird and held my knife in my left hand. So when you hold the knife, the index finger, it goes along the knife's edge.
That is really strange, because let's say if you're cutting a steak, you're holding your knife in your right hand and a fork
so I'm always opposite.
in the left hand. And you would obviously cut your steak with a knife using your right hand.
Not for me, never have been.
So it seems to me like you're supposed to be left-handed, but you're not.
Yeah. So I did struggle with cutting especially steaks or like tough meat or something like that. So sometimes even I remember recently I had to ask you to cut some steak, which is kind of embarrassing, but you know, it's fine.
I love it.
You're the love of my life, and it's okay. I
love cutting food for you.
What else? I did struggle with typing. On the keyboard, typing, because obviously your index finger would
always
be involved in that.
Yeah, but now you're used to it.
Now I'm used to it. So yeah, that's it. I would say I don't really struggle that much. That's why I don't really talk about it, because I don't struggle. It's not like every day
it's not disability.
It's not disability.
No.
I've never claimed disability. I've never said I'm like disabled, because it's ridiculous. Like, there's people that lose their legs, and I'm like, how can I even like talk about it and be like, oh, poor me, when there's people that have lost way more, and I just feel so like, you know, sympathetic to those people. And I don't struggle at all. Like, oh, sometimes I can't cut my steak. Ooh, boo-hoo. Like, come on, there's more important things to life, right? So basically, that is the story of how I lost my finger. And it's just so weird. It's just so weird, isn't it, Justina? Like, I had this conversation the other day, like, in talking about this video, that you don't often hear or see people with missing fingers
at this age.
Like my age, or it's normally like men that are in the industry. Like, my uncle actually has the same finger missing because he lost it when he was working in a factory. So you expect that kind of thing. You know, you're using your hands.
Obviously working with machinery. Accidents happen all the time.
But you never hear of a
young girl
jumping
over the fence and ripping her finger off
in such a freaky way. It was just such a freak accident.
Oh my god! But
so
I must say, I think that made you look really, really cool.
Justina thinks it's cool.
I love it. When I met Misha, I was like, thanks God you don't have a finger, because that makes you so special and so unique. Like, I love touching it. I love playing with it. I love stroking it.
Oh God.
It's just so cool. And I love putting it in my nose as well.
I like doing this. Like, just sticking it all up there. It's like, where is it? You know, like in the ear.
Oh my God. It's just
such
so
a weird
cool.
thing.
I love it.
I remember about a year ago, we received a comment saying, Misha, why do you hide your hands? There's nothing wrong with it. I can't even remember it, but it was kind of along the lines of that. And I remember looking at that comment and going, I don't actually intend to hide my hand at all. And actually there's a few reasons why I think someone would pick up on that. One of the reasons is that I'm actually right-handed, so this is my right hand, this is my left hand, and so when I'm actually vlogging, I actually use my left hand to pick up the camera and film, and obviously use my right hand for
gestures,
normal
body language
things.
and stuff.
So that's one reason. The second reason is I think that I'm not as expressive as Justina is. So myself, I'm quite naturally reserved. So my gestures aren't so like, woo, so active. So that's another reason maybe. And the third reason is I think that maybe I hide my hands subconsciously. So I don't even like think that I'm doing it or know that I'm doing it.
Yeah, you don't realize that you're actually hiding, especially your left hand. Guys, I guess this is the end of this video. We hope that it's not too long.
Probably.
We hope that you enjoyed it in some way. What should you comment? Do you have any missing fingers?
I would actually really love to know that.
Let us know if you have any missing parts of your body, guys. That would be kind of interesting to know.
What else? It's kind of a weird
question
video.
to ask.
Weird video, isn't it? Like, what could you comment? Be nice, I would say. Like, be nice and considerate to me. Like, I'm okay. Like, don't be too mean.
So yeah, guys, make sure you like this video. Use your 2 thumbs to like this video.
And 2 fingers.
2 fingers.
If you have them.
Or finger and a half. Make sure you share this video if you want to. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't done that already. And I would say expect some more UK videos from us. Yes?
Absolutely,
some of you did say that you really want to see how we used to live, our family members, where we want to go in the UK. And I think we're gonna film some of it, so make sure you stay tuned, guys. But for now, like I said, thank you so much for watching, and as always, cheers to Frida. Woo!
This is the fence, guys, right here, and as you can see, it's quite tall. Pulled myself up here to what was on the other side, which is basically my cousin's garden. And if you give me the camera, you can see that the garden is right here. You got the graveyard and you got the garden, and this is exactly where I was intending to go, and I jumped down off the fence. Justina's actually pointing out the nail because she can, of course. As you can see now, it's actually hammered down, but it wasn't always the case. It was sticking out, I would say, about 1 inch. So that's the culprit, guys, right there.
Let's have a look. Yeah, so we found my dad's friend in this house, in my dad's house, and we also realized that he doesn't have his index finger too open.
My goodness,
that's crazy.
Literally can do this.
Open.
Wow.
No fingers.